Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to today's class where we talk about where we're going to continue our flow charts for a food mobile application. So yesterday we worked on the authentication flow for um, the new user and for an old user. And today we are going to continue the flow for it. But today we are all going to communicate, brainstorm together because we last time we all carried out a research for a various different kinds of projects to our choice. But since we've understand our users, since we've know their pain points and we actually know their goals, we want to create a solution for them. So today's class is not going to be teaching you guys. We are all going to brainstorm together where everybody is going to come up with a better idea to create this food app flowchart. So just like what I said yesterday, I'm just going to give this product a random name which I came up with Mavi Food delivering application. So we are all going to brainstorm. So if you have anything you want to contribute, a better solution or your choice, you can just unmute and then um, tell us or just bring up a suggestion for the flow. And before you unmute, if your background is noisy, please don't bother unmuting. Just drop a message. It is better that way. Okay. So right now we are going to continue. So I'm going to bring my sticky note to write down things I feel should be on the home page. But before we continue that, we're going to look at um, other food app from Behance so that we can come up with a better idea for this food app. So while we wait for okay, I think it's up already. So um, for us to get um, for us to get sites for us or websites or an application where we can get inspiration for our design. So I'm going to drop this information on this sticky note. I'm going to drop the name of the site where so I'm going to drop some names um where we can get inspiration for this food app. So I'm trying to keep my phone in a way I can see anybody's message. So first we have the beans. Second we have the dribble. Triple B. The third we have UX. White.net.
Can't see your screen.
Are you serious? Okay, let me stop sharing and share again. Can you see it now? Can you see it
Yes.
now? Can you see it now?
Yes, yes.
So you'll be the one. Remember, I said I'm sharing the entire of my screen. If I assume I'm sharing a particular tab, I can see from my end, okay, this particular tab is on. But since I'm sharing the entire of my own screens, like everything I'm doing, you'll be seeing everything I'm doing. You won't see those pop-up messages. So just on your own end, just let me know that okay, you can't see my screen or something is wrong somewhere, please. So so I'm trying to write down names of sites where we can get inspiration from. So for people that are already on the file, they can just come here, click on my profile to take you where I am. You can then see where to get your inspiration. So the first one we have is dribble.net. Sorry, um behance.net. So this is a perfect size site where you can get a lot of inspiration, including the UX and the UI. And it's also a good website where you can actually upload your personal work or even group work or wherever your project. You can use it as a portfolio as a beginner. Dribble is actually a nice place, but it's actually a nice place where you can get just more of UI inspiration, just UI inspiration. Maybe you want to design a particular screen, so you just get it for your UI inspiration. Why for UX, UX research, UX design, whatever you're looking for, you can see that on Behance. So UI it is just a site where you just see more of maybe 70% of others people UI projects, but you cannot download it. So none of the sites you can download. You just get to look at it and then leave that place. So there is UI Hunt. UI Hunt. I don't know if it's .net or .com, but if you type UI Hunt, it's going to come out, and then Figma Community. So these are the places I can recommend people to actually go out, check out their designs, and then come up to own. There's a lot on this. I don't know for UI Hunt. I don't know if it's uihunt.com or .net or .ng. I don't know. I can just type UI Hunt. It's going to come out for you. So we're going to draft out some flowchart, and everybody is actually going to communicate. We are going to communicate. We're going to work together. I'm not just going to tell you this is the particular flow. So since we all know, or since we've all understood our users, know their pain points and know their goals, we're going to create a solution for this their problem together. So now I'm going to move these sticky notes here. I can choose to bring another one, or I'm going to duplicate it. So looking at another one. Why is my Figma hanging? So what I feel should be on the home page is like what I feel should be on the home page. We have the home page, so I feel there should be a notification. There should be a notification. There should be a profile icon where we take the users to the profile page or account page. So you can use the word profile or account. Or should we use the okay? Let's use the word account. Let's use the word yes. There's profile. There's account. Let's say okay. Let me go and look for a food app homepage and then show you what I think is okay. So while we are waiting for it to load, let's go back to Figma. I hope it loads very, very fast. Okay, so while we're waiting for it to load, so let's use the word profile or icon, profile or account icon. Then the next we're going to have is we're going to have the favorite icon that can take us to. I'll tell you there's no U in favorite. Let's say favorite icon or screens or whatever, or how you just want to put it. Favorite to just an icon you will click that will take you to the screens where you're going to see all the items that you have actually saved or favorited, so that you can just come back and make payment for those food. Then the next one we're going to have on the home page, we're going to have let's say lists of restaurants. When you click on see all, it's going to take you to like you just have few numbers of restaurants. When you click on see all, it's going to take you to the list of restaurants. So we're going to have like maybe food menu, few food menu. So let me use the word few. So the next one we're going to have is let's go back and see if we can get an inspiration. So this is how it look like. So this is actually my account. I have 2 notifications here. So this is how it look like. So just come to here. So once you sign up with your active email, then you can just come to this their search bar and then look for wherever you want to. You can see how other people's work are. You can see. So what we're looking for a food um delivering application. So you can tell how people did their own work. So this is how it looks like. So let's open this one. So just click on it. It will open. Then look at how other people's work is. So this is a hope. This is a home page. So let's see if we can get the full screen for home page. So you can tell how other people's work are. So maybe when we talk about when we start working on um design thinking system, then I'll teach you how to create US case study. By then you will now apply it in your portfolio. Okay, now this is this is somebody's class screen. This is onboarding screen. Now you can see that this person's onboarding screen is 4. So those things we explained yesterday about next and skip. So and I explained to you, if you don't want to keep this next or skip, you can just change this next to get started. If you don't want to force your user to actually read the information on your screen. So this is their authentication, the login that we did with Flow and all. So I'm trying to look for their homepage so that I can just, okay, now this is their homepage. So I want to pick inspiration from this. So I think I'm going to share this link with you guys on the group. So now this is the home page. We already have this information here. So when the user click on this icon, it's going to take them to the account screen. So I think we are going to have a search bar. So I'm going to come back here and put search bar so that when they come to the home page, click on typing an information, is going to take them to another screen. So I've gotten few inspiration, popular restaurants. So we will use list of restaurants, these on grocery. So we can just use food menu. When you click on this arrow, it takes you to another screen. But I'm just picking the information that is going to take us to another screen that is going to be on the home page. So that is what I want to create on that flow chart. So but now I just need to feed my eyes on other applications so that I can do something better for my users. Okay. Now, so I'm not going to pick the whole of this. So what I just pick now is what I want my own to have is, oh God, does somebody want to say something? So I just want to pick few information on this. I just want to pick few information on this screen I'm seeing, on this design inspiration I just saw that I liked. So I instead of using popular restaurants, I just use list of restaurants. But I think I like the name here, popular restaurants. I can just go back and change my own to list from list to restaurants to popular restaurants. So our popular restaurants will be the ones at the top of my home page. Then instead of these on grocery, I just use food menu where you can see food menu. You can choose to add food category if you want to, but me, I don't want to add. I just want to use food menu. And this is best to dine in. I don't want this. So now these people have food. When they click on food, they're going to see the list of all the food. Now, this is like on the home page. Remember, I'm trying to design or I'm trying to create a flowchart that whenever a user comes to the home page, they click on any of the elements, it's going to take them to another screen. So that is the flow chart that I want to design. I'm not going to design for this particular how do I say this, like this and this. You get, I'm just picking, okay, when a user click on this particular place, where is it taking them to from the home page? That is what flowchart is all about. Remember, flowchart is like a navigation or the roadmap of how your user is going to interact with your products. And now I'm trying to create a flowchart for a food delivery app. When a user is on the home page, when they click on any element on the home page, where is it taking them to? And now I'm writing down or I'm jotting down things that I know when a user click on the home page is going to take them to another page. So that is what I'm writing down by feeding my eyes on other products that is similar or that is the same as what I am working on. Okay, though some of us can actually create a flow chart from our head, but I always advise people or beginners that they should check out other products that is either similar to what they are working on or that is exactly to what they are working on, so that they can know how they can navigate their own products. They can know how they can do better than other people's products. Okay, so now I'm looking at this person's own. I think I have picked what I want to pick. So this person's added maybe some feature, or okay, category, call the thing category, restaurants listing, maths, dining options, and then the bottom navigation. So most things here are the same thing here. So, but as I'm not using the same icon here or same information here, I'm going to use my own. So I'm going back to my Figma. So on my home page, I'm going to have a notification. I'm going to have account or profile. I'm going to have favorites where they get when they click on something like this. When they click on something like this, it's going to take them to the list of all the food they have saved on that mobile application, that whenever they have money, they're going to come back and try these new dishes out, whether it's existing dishes or new dishes out. Then on the home page, they're going to have list of okay, let's say, okay, let me use the word popular restaurants, and they're going to have few food menu, going to have search bar, and going to have carts, shopping carts. Going to have shopping carts. Now, if I need to add more things on this my sticky note and there is no space, all I have to do is just to expand it this way and expand it this way. Okay, then if you don't want to, you can just leave it the way it is. I think I love how it is small, so I should just rhyme with this one. Then I can, then if I want to add another thing, I will just know how to add it. So for now, I think I'm good with this information. But if you guys come up with a suggestion or something that needs to be on the homepage, then we'll add it. For now, let's work on this flow. Now let me go back to my flow charts, and the first thing I'm going to do is to design for the notification. So I'm going to move this one here. And notification is just something that I'm going to read and just go. So I'm going to use this pattern of shape or symbol. So later we can change the color. So the next thing I'm going to design is for the profile and account, but I think it's actually a broad pattern. So, but I'm just going to add it at this part because I don't want my flowchart to have a scattered part that will actually going to confuse whoever that is on this link. So, but I'm going to arrange it in a very good way. So, since I already have the account, under account, there are other sections under account. So, I won't add it here. It's going to actually mess up my design. I'm just going to add it on the other side. I'm going to add it this other part. So for here, I'm going to put my favorites. Okay, so I'm going to add okay, we can say favorite, populars. So I'm going to use favorites here. So let's use this. I'm not typing anything on favorite screen or saved screen. Favorite item. Let's just use the word favorite or saved item. I'm going to move this my arrow to the top. So I'm going to duplicate this and then move it this way and turn it to shopping carts. So later we can change the color. So the next time I've done, so I'm going to be cleaning. I'm going to take it out so that it will not confuse us. So the next I'm going to design is I'll take shopping cart out. So the next I'm going to design is going to be my search bar. So I would love to keep my search bar this place. So I can just move it this way, and then duplicate this, Control D, Command D. So this is going to be my search bar. Give me 1 second, please. Okay, sorry about that. I had to take water. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now, we are going to design for popular restaurants. I'm just going to move this here. So I'm going to duplicate this. Later we can change the color, but if you just choose to use one color, it's okay, it's fine. So I'm going to change this to popular, most popular restaurant, popular, whatever language you want to use. Am I spelling this popular? No. Popular restaurants. I'm going to duplicate and then change this one to food menu. And the last one is going to be account. So I'm going to duplicate this and it's going to be account. So this is going to be an account. Okay. So now I'm going to take this off out. If you choose to leave it, no problem. But if you want to delete it, you are free to delete it. So the next time I'm going to just connect the line to all of them. Okay. Now I have connected the line. So on the home page, I will see on the home page, I can go to account section. I can go to the search bar. I can go to the saved item. I can go to carts. I can go to popular restaurants. I can go to the food menu. I can go to accounts. And now on these sections, it will actually lead us to another section. So if a user is actually on the notification, what will happen? The user is just going to read and go. So it doesn't have any continuation. So it just ends here. So what you just have to do is just to add the end icon here. So just add end here because the user is not going to do anything again. So you can just use the word red and just bring it very small. It should just be very, very small. Just put it this way, end. So if a user is on the search bar, what will happen? You expect your user to not suffer themselves scrolling on that application where you just expect some user. Now, for example, just like what I said yesterday, there are some users that might not have the whole time, the whole energy to read the whole information on the onboarding. And now once they're on the page, or more hungry, I'm very, very hungry. I don't have strength to start looking for restaurants or start looking for the available food. You expect a user to be able to just go to the search bar, type whatever they want to type, and the information will come up. So now you're going to design the flow, you're going to create a flow or a roadmap or a diagram for a user. When a user is just on the home page, the user click on the search bar, type whatever they want to type. So on this search bar, we're going to change the shape to be this pattern because you expect your user to type something on that page. So once they type something on that page, so here it's going to be like results. So here is going to be the results of whatever they type. And the next thing we are going to have is the list of food. Is it food or food? List of food. So once your user is there, the next thing is going to be let's say, I use the word food description, so they can see the whole ingredients used for the food. They can see, okay, do you choose to add extra or extra? If you don't choose that, then you can add to carts. So now we're going to stop here and we're going to move. So I'm going to, okay, this is okay like this. So I'm going to leave this here so I can connect this to shop to cart. So on the favorite screen, they should be able to, okay, they can either favorite. So I'm going to move this screen to here. And I'm going to add another screen to be here. It should be saved the food. Now, if a user, just like what we talked about yesterday, do you want to buy this food now or you don't want to buy this food now? For example, maybe you are having you're discussing with a friend and you guys are discussing about this particular or a certain food that you would love to try out, and you already have Mavi food application on your phone, and you just go to their search bar and then you search for ewedu and amala, and you want to try this food out someday, but you don't have the money to buy it, and you say, okay, I'm going to try it someday, and then you go to the search bar, you type ewedu and amala, and the result comes up, and you see, I think I'm going to merge these two together because the result and the list of food are one. So I'm going to say, and I'm going to put this. So it's not going to be two screen. I'm going to take this out and then move this way and then bring this way. So your results. So when you go to the search bar and you tap away, search with ewedu and the amala. I don't know if it's a good combo. So, and then you see the result of the food. You read about the description. What kind of meat did they use for the soup? What kind of oil did they use for the soup? And all those stuff. And you just want to save the food. You can see add to cart or save item. So when you save the item, and then it will just be on this particular page. So we are going to move, instead of creating another page here and you want to have two save item page on your design. We're not going to have that. So we're just going to move this to this page here, and we're going to take this out. So you can choose to have here, and you can choose, and you can also have to place your food on add to carts like this. So after reading the food description and you are good, am I using the word food description or food information? Okay, let's use the word food information. Are you guys with me?
Yes, we are.
Okay, I need to be sure because of my network. So after reading the food information and you are satisfied with the kind of ingredient, the kind of oil, the kind of vegetable they use, the kind of pomo, the kind of whatever they use on that food, and you are satisfied and you don't have money to pay now, you can choose to save the item or you can choose to add the food on your cart. Okay. Now the next thing we are going to do now, if now now this now let's say after like 2 days and you don't have the money to try this food out and you just come to your home page, click on save item, the next thing you're just going to do, you're not going to, because you've already saved this item to try it or buy it someday. So what you just have to do is just to add this particular food to cart. Okay, so once you add to cart, and then it's going to take you to the next place. So we are going to work on that. So now cat is going to be the last thing we're going to work, or second to the last we're going to work. Let's link this other two to this place, and then we move to the ending of it. Now, so the next thing I'm going to do now, I am a, okay, let me use myself. I'm a user 2 or second user that is trying this application, and I want to see the list of all the popular restaurants, and I come to the home page. I click on see more. On the home page like this, this is how it's going to be with an icon that says see more. Okay, now you can tell that this is actually a see more. So let's see list of food, explore restaurants. Okay, now look at the list of popular restaurants. You can tell the whole list is this way, and it's actually scrollable. So now what I'm going to do is, you come to this place, you're going to click on see more. So when you click on see more, it's going to show you list of all the restaurants. I'm going to show you the list. We can change the color later. For now, let's just focus on the information. We can see that when we click on see more or see all, you can then see the list of all the popular restaurants, or list of whatever restaurants you want to see, any word you want to use, where you see the list of all the restaurants, and inside you're going to see all the food menu. So when you click on any of the restaurants, now this, remember I said this box or process stands as a screen. So now when you see the list of all the restaurants on the screen, and you click on one of the restaurants, you're going to see the list of all the food available on that restaurant. Available. You see list of food available. You're going to see the list of all the food. Now, when you click, this is like you're going to see a list like this. You're going to see a list like this, and when you click on one, it's going to show you like something like this. So you're going to see something like this, okay? Where you get to see all the food available. You can search for the food, maybe like a menu, something like this, a menu where you get to see all the recommended or food available. Now, this is a particular restaurant where you get to see the information. You can choose to save this particular restaurants. You can choose to look for this food and then save the food. Now, this is how it's going to look like. You can, on this restaurants, you can search for it. Now, you can tell that this is actually having its own wide future. So now in our flowchart, now you will see list of restaurants. Then when you click on one of the restaurants, you're going to see the list of all the food available. So you can then search for, so I'm going to use this shape. You can search for food in these restaurants. So you can, remember I'm looking at these people's work to create my own. So you can then see search for, and you can then see food info. What am I doing? And then let me duplicate this. Change the shape. And then here you can see food information. So I'm going to take this down. I'm going to bring this here. I'm going to bring this here. I'm going to bring this here. I'm going to take this here. So do we need to add anything? You can add to cart or save this food. So the next thing I'm going to look at these people's work is, let's see what they did. This is for the filter search. You filter or you search, and then you get your results. So you can choose if you want to add this filter search. I think it's actually a good user experience, because you don't want to use that to, what about people that love eating fried rice with vegetable? What about people that love eating fried rice without vegetables? So you want to add this filter search for your user. So you will come here, let's go back to our flow. Then you come back here. This is search bar. And then you come back here and then add just add this filter. Okay. So when they click on the search bar, it's going to show them those filters. Actually, they have to filter whatever they want to filter, the kind of food, and then they get the list of the food they filter. So this is good flow. So let's continue back to the information coming from a particular restaurant. So on the restaurants, when you click on all the food available, okay, I think this is actually going to be here. So I'm going to take this to be here. I'm going to move this. So you can't search for a food under a food. So you're going to search for a food from this restaurant. So I'm going to move this here and move this here and then bring this up here. And I'm going to keep this here to have results and list of food. Then when I select any of my food, it's going to take me to have my food information. So this is how it's going to be. So in the restaurants, I can either scroll to look for all the food available, or I can choose to search for the food. Whenever I get the list of the food available on the restaurants, and then I can just click to see the information of the food. And then this is where we'll now have this save item or add to cart. So this is going to be at the center here. Do we need any other information? Let's look at this particular sites that we're using as inspiration. So I don't think we need any other thing. So the next thing we are going to add there is either do you have money to pay for it now, or do you want to add to cart? So here we are going to add a decision symbol. Are you paying for the food now? Are you actually buying the food now, or you just want to save the item? So we are going to use buying now, like a question. Remember, it's a question. Buying now. If it's yes, okay. Here is going to be save item. So I'm trying to bring these guys here so I can merge these ones here. I don't want the line to be too scattered. So I'm going to just place this here and say, okay, this should be add to cart. This should be add to cart. Remember, we actually skipped this decision here. So I'm going to bring these two. So I'm going to like switch this food menu here and bring this here so that I can merge these two ones here and bring this and merge. I don't want the line to be too scattered so that whenever we come back tomorrow, we might not get confused where the line is actually connected to. So I'm just going to place this add to cart here. And so this is going to be red line. Yeah, sorry, green line. Yes, I'm paying for the food now. I have money to pay for the food now, so I can add to cart, but I don't have money to pay for it now. So let me reduce this box. It's too much. So let me duplicate and then bring it here. I don't have money to pay for the food, so I can just save the item now. So I'm going to use red because I'm using red already. So this is going to be save item. This is going to be save item. Buying now. It's add to cart, not buying now. No, so I think I'll have to switch. I'll have to take this at these two. I'll change it. So now I'm going to bring these two information. I'll take it this way because there's no way I can drag this shopping cart and come here and drag this one. This is going to mess up my flow here. So I'm going to delete this and delete this also, and delete this. So I'm going to highlight and then bring this to this way and take this one this way. So here is food information. So I'm going to bring this one here, and I'm going to bring this food information. So whenever you see just food menu, you're going to have, when you see food menu, you select any of the food, it's going to show you the food information And then here we are going to have a decision box. Sorry. So here is going to be a decision box. Are you buying now? Buying now is a question. So I'm going to change the symbol to the decision. And I'm going to drag it this way. Bring this way, yeah. So I'm trying to match these ones to join with this, but you can actually just take out this and just drag your arrow to point at this instead of having too many boxes around. If you just look, if you watch the flow, you see that both of them are actually the same. So now back to these ones we actually kept here. So I'm going to we're going to walk through the flow again to be sure that we are actually on the right track. Please, are you guys with me?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Okay, so let's continue. So before we move this box here, before we move these ones here, let's start from the home page to be sure that these three users are actually on the right track. Now Helen is going to be user 1, Roland is going to be user 2, and Maureen is going to be user 3. Now, the first user, I am on the home page. I don't have energy to start going through the popular restaurants you have on this app or start looking for the available food on this app. I don't have that energy. So all I have to do is just I'm craving for shawarma and cool zobo, for example. Okay, that's what I'm going to have for my dinner. So I'm craving for this food, and I just go to the search bar, filter shawarma by chicken. Like you go to the search bar, you type shawarma, and then you can now filter is it by beef or chicken, and you go by chicken, and then the result is going to come out. Now the result is going to come out including the result is going to come out now where you have all the results. And I'm talking based on the UI. I'm not talking of based on the flow. Now on the result you have different restaurants that have shawarma with chicken shawarma, that have chicken shawarma. And then you just select the one that is okay for you, and you look at, okay, did they use chicken on this particular one? Did they use chicken on this particular one? Is there too much is there how many sausages inside? Did they use enough mayonnaise? Was what again? The is it Lebanese bread? Is it 3 or 2? Did they use carrots? Did they use garlic? Did they use ginger? Whatever you want to see, that's going to be on this food information. And then, are you buying now? So then when you want to now you're going to have a decision. Now you remember you are not designing the decision, but this decision is just like a spiritual decision. I'm sorry for using that word. That is just standing in the mind of your user. I'm buying now. I'm not buying now. But remember, you're in the UI. You're not designing it. Okay. Now in the flow, you're going to be like, okay, are you adding to your cart now? Maybe when they pay your salary, you try it out, or you are just adding to cart to make payment for it now. That is where the decision will come in. I can now choose to add to cart, or I can choose to save this particular item. Now let's move to user 2, which is Roland. Now Roland is someone that just opened this application and then sees this yummy fried rice with chicken, and they use ginger to prepare it, and he wants to try ginger jollof rice, and he wants to try the ginger jollof rice. Now he just pop up on the app, like when somebody's on the home page and you just saw this food and you say, oh, I'm going to try it out, and then you click on it, you get the food information. And if it's someone that is buying it out, now this is where a decision will just pop in there. Now I'm to buy it, and he will then add to cart. But if he's not buying it now, he's going to save the item. Now this is Maureen. Like I said, she's hungry and she doesn't like cooking, but she likes eating the best food from any good restaurants. And then she's on the home page. She sees this popular restaurant, maybe like 2 popular restaurants, and she wants to see the rest of all the restaurants on this application. And she click on see more or see all. and then she has the list of all the restaurants that this Mavi food application have, and then she scroll and to be seeing the food available. She scroll, let's say she select one of the restaurants and she's going to see the food available on this particular restaurant, and she's tired of scrolling because she's just like, what is this people having, what is this, and she might get confused or she might get overwhelmed and said, no, let me just search for what this particular let me search for the food that these particular restaurants have. As she's on that screen for like a particular restaurant's information, so once she click on it, she's just going to she's just going to, I think I'm missing out something here. I'm missing out something here. If we have the list of restaurants, we should be able to have restaurants, like a restaurant should be like all this arrow should come from it. So I'm going to add this. I'm going to duplicate this, Control D. So I'm going to keep it this way, and then I'm going to scroll out to drag this. So I think I just found out this is why it's always good to go through your flow charts, and this is why it's always good whenever you are done, you share with your team. So I'm going to bring this in here. I'm going to drag this here. I'm going to drag this here. I'm going to bring this here, and this here, and this here. I'm going to bring this here. So this is going to be restaurants information. So this is going to be the restaurant's information. Now you can tell I actually missed out this because this restaurant's information will carry the information about this restaurant, phone number, customer care, address, map, all of them. So I think I actually missed this. So now let's go back. Let's continue what we are saying. Now Maureen is user 3, and she just want to be. She's so curious to see all the available restaurants on this application, and each restaurant, or maybe she's a lover of Kilimanjaro, and she's just going to see the list of all the restaurants, and her favorite restaurant pops out, Kilimanjaro, and she click on it. She's going to see the information about this her popular restaurant, which is Kilimanjaro. She's going to see Kilimanjaro information, and then when she click on it, she can say, okay, let me see all the food that this Kilimanjaro people have. And then she's scrolling, she's scrolling, she's not seeing her her food that she, let's say gari and egusi soup and pando. She's not seeing it, and then she just go to this restaurant search bar and type for the food, and the food results will come out, and then she can just look at the food information. If she's buying now, she's going to add to cart. If she's not buying now, she's going to save the item. Same thing, by you search, you look for, or either she just sees the soup that she's looking for, and then she just select the soup, get the soup information. Is she buying it now? Yes, she's buying that. She add to cart. Is she buying it now? No, she's not buying it. She will just save this item. Now you can tell that this is a user 1 flow, user 2 flow, and user 3. Remember, this is not like a separate flow. Like it's a separate flow, yes, but it's not like in your app, this one is a priority, this one is not priority, this one is not priority. Now every user has their own test. Just like when you guys ask questions on a particular, like now we talked about this event, and I'm user 1, I gave you my complaint. User 2 gave you her own complaint. User 3 gave you his own complaint. You get? You get? So every user has their own complaint to give you. Just the same way I don't like just the same way I know how to cook, but I don't have that time to go to the market and then cook because I have a lot of deadline at hand. So I may not have that time to cook. All I want is just as I'm working, trying to meet up with deadline, I should be able to order food that will just come to my doorstep. Okay. Now, same thing with Roland. Roland is someone that is always, let's say, he doesn't like to cook. He doesn't like to cook. He doesn't like his kitchen to be messed up. He's always lazy when it comes to cooking. Now he wants an application that we bring food where he's going to order food and then bring the food to his doorstep. Maureen is someone that doesn't know how to cook, but she loves to eat very good food, and she's looking for an application where she can just order food and then come back and get to her doorstep and then she eats and trash the plate. So that is, you can tell that the three of us have different issues, and we want to achieve, and three of us just want one goal. You get, three of us has different problems, but we actually want one goal, and this is actually the solution they are providing for the three of us. Okay, now we've created this particular flow for this. Now the next thing we are going to create is going to be the add to cart and save item flow. So I'm going to bring this one here. So I'm going to move this add to cart and come this way because these other ones, they are there. So let's just keep it this way and let's return let's return this one here. What is going on with my Figma? Or is it my laptop? Come up. Now, we've done this flow for how user is going to look for their favorite items and food. Now let's work on the flow for the save item and then shopping cart. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this one to be here, and I'm going to drag this one to be here. So I'm going to delete this one. So I'm going to move this green one. So I'm going to take it here so that you can actually see the color. What is going on? Am I the only one experiencing this slow something in Figma, or is it a general something? Or is it my laptop? I know I'm not shorty for this. So once we are done, now save item. When you just come on the app and let's say let's say the home page. Now we have something like this, and one of these icon here is a save item, and we just click on it. We're going to see the list of all the save item. We just click on it and then we add to cart and then make payment. So now we want to work on the payment section, which is actually an important feature when it comes to trying to solve problem for your users, because Helen as a user one doesn't have an ATM card for payment. All she does is transfer. Now you will not want your user who doesn't have ATM card not to operate your product or not to use your product. So you're going to actually create a problem, like you're going to create a solution for them. So now in this solution, people without card, local bank card, can actually make transfer to the account that is generated on the application. And people with card can also make payments. So payment option or payment method is actually a very good, or is a good solution that you're going to provide for user. It's not all about they need to order food. Yes, available restaurants. What about payment option? A lot of people doesn't have local bank card. Okay, like people using Kuda and OPay. It's not something that you have to walk into the bank to request for ATM card. It's something that you have to make order from online, and then they will have to bring it to you. So people will tell you, why will I pay 2005 for a bank card of 1,000 naira? You get, so these are some thinking that users will tell you. Okay, and at the end of the day, they will tell you. At the end of the day, they'll tell you, I'm not going to request for CAN as long as there's active network and I have the mobile app. I can use the application. Some persons will tell you, I misplaced my card, but they don't have the chance to go to the bank to request for a new one. So I'm just going to continue using the USSD code or the mobile application that they are using. Okay, so a lot of people will tell you stories of how they don't want to get card. Okay, so people will tell you, it's my savings account, I don't want to have card, so I'm not spending money all the time. A lot of people will give you different stories. So in this aspect, you have to create a seamless transaction or payments options for them. So either they are making bank transfer or they are paying with their local bank card. Now this part is where you just have to put the information on their bank card, like the card holder name, the card number, the card expiring date, and the CVV at the back of the card on this application. So once they put it into the application, the system will automatically debit this amount from their account, or they can make transfer of the total amount to the generated account number showing on the screen. Okay, just the same. People that have shopped with Jumia will know what I'm saying. For those of us that doesn't like to link our card, now okay. Now this is another solution you're trying to solve. Some persons are scared. Why will I give you my card information? Don't you think you will use this information to rob me? I prefer to do transfer. You get, so all these things that I'm saying, all these things, you guys should be understanding the kind of problem that people are facing, or even you yourself might be facing. Now, I'm this kind of person that I have trust issues when it comes to making payment online. Trust me, I have serious trust issues. Especially linking my, let's say and I'm not talking of dollar, I'm talking of Nigerian payment, all this platform made in Nigeria. Like me now, when I want to shop something on Jumia, I don't link my bank card. Now, this is what I do. If I add all my items to carts and they did not give me this option of pay on delivery, I use Jumia Pay. That is what I do. I do the Jumia Pay, then they automatically generate account number for me, and then I will open my bank app and send the money. That's what I do. If like let them say they're going to remove 10% of what you bought if you're using your MasterCard, I will not link it. That is the only. I have trust issues when it comes to this thing. Now you can tell from my own part that as a user, I have trust issue linking my local bank card to all this platform, because I'm scared they might want to trace my account, to wipe my account. You get, I'm also scared of even using POS, like putting my card, giving like POS person, I want to withdraw money, I will give them my card. I'm even scared. Ever since my OPay card got damaged, I've been doing transfer, and until if I ask you, do you collect, and I say no, I will just go my way. I don't have issues. I will not have issues with you. I will not just move. I'll just look for someone that will just collect transfer. So I will make the transfer. I will even join you and wait. I will even open I will create a conversation while I'm waiting for you to receive the alert. You can tell how I have this trust issue when it comes to any card payment of a thing. Some users are like that. So as a UX designer, you just need to create a solution that is going to solve these people's problem. Okay, now back to our flow chart. Now we are now in the transaction or payment side, and now what we are going to do is we've added this item to cart. What is the next thing we are going to do? Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to drag this here and bring it here, and I'll add this here. I'll take this to the top and I'm going to change this color back to our gray. So yeah, I'm going to look at how now I don't have, or let's say I need to, now let's say I'm working, this is a new product I'm working on, and I want to create a better option that will help users when it comes to their payment option. So once I've added this information to card, now this is an open question, although I know the answer, but I want you guys to unmute and answer the question. Now, when an item has been added to cart, what is the next step that you think or you normally do as a user? So this is an open question that I will expect 3 to 4 persons to answer for me. The floor is open.
I think it should be to add your address where you want it to be delivered to before you choose your payment option.
Okay, another person. Another person.
I think I'm with Marvelous on this one. So that maybe the payment will depend on the distance.
That one.
Adedeji, confirm all the items are correct. You're already on the cart. You've confirmed all the items are correct. What do you think is the next step that your user should take? So Marvelous and Bawa said they need to add their shipping address. So I'm waiting for the remaining persons to say something. Okay. Maureen said delivering address, then payment option. Any other person?
Me, I think order tracking, that the user can track maybe something is actually coming.
Now that tracking will come. Are you going to track when you've not made payments, or you're going to track when you've made payments?
Track when you've made payments.
Okay.
And you can track only when you've input your address.
Okay, all of us is on the same page. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so let's continue. Now, everybody is saying, okay, everybody is saying once you've added your items on the shopping carts, the next thing you should do is your shipping address. Exactly. You add your shipping address, because your shipping address will determine how, like now, you have on this screen now, you have your subtotal. That's what you're going to have, just subtotal. Then they will not tell you shipping fee is not included yet. So the next thing you're going to do is check out where you have to add your shipping address. So once you add your shipping address, that is when it now automatically show you at one side of the screen or at the bottom of the screen, where to show you your shipping fee. Now your address will determine your shipping fee, whether you're paying 10,000 or 25 or whatever amount the system wants to add for you. And then the next thing we are going to do is what? Payment option or payment method. So do we use the word payment option or payment method? I think payment method is the right
method.
Method is better than option. Payment method, where the system will tell you bank transfer. Do you want to also accept payment on delivery? Your choice as a user. Like, trust me, like I said, I'm this kind of person that has trust issues. Now, let's say now this is another problem too for users. Let's leave the word apart from trust issues. Now, I don't have a local bank card at all. I don't have. And my network is bad at that moment. Let's say that period of time, my network is bad. And okay, let's say my network is bad, but I have cash at home, and I cannot make transfer because my network is my bank app is not opening, but I have cash at home. You can allow user to pick the option of pay on delivery. Once you deliver the food to them, then they will give you cash. Okay, so then let's say there's another issue too, where let's say at that moment my bank app is not opening, but you have someone at home that is willing to transfer the money to them, to the delivering guy or whatever, to them at that moment. So right now you're just going to think of a way that is going to favor your users. Now in this place, we're going to now this payment method is going to be cash. Let's say pay now. Let's use the word pay now. Now, funding of money to your wallet is actually a good idea that you yourself want to include in your application. But for me, I don't want to include, but it's actually a nice idea. You fund your wallet. If some people can be doing akawo, small amounts in that account. So it's their choice. So, but for me on this app that I'm building, I'm not adding a wallet to my own. But you can choose to if you want to. So here it's going to be pay now, and here it's going to be pay on delivery. This is going to be pay on delivery. So this is going to be pay on delivery. Okay, so here, let me move this side. It will have space. So here we are going to have cash. Let's say card or transfer or bank transfer. So I'm going to duplicate this and bring it here. So here I'm going to say bank transfer. Let me bring this one here. I don't know where I can run it to. Okay, and then you're going to have the decision here. So here is going to be pay on this thing, delivery, and you're going to have going to bring this guy here, and it's going to be track. So let's use. Okay, I'm going to use this because it's actually ending there. So this is going to be track order. I'm going to put it to red. So once you make this is like going to be a decision. So I'm going to bring this here. So both of them are going to be green. Sorry. So this is going to be like no. Yeah. So I'm going to drag this here because I want that arrow to be visible. And I'm going to drag this here. So I'm going to make this red. If it's not successful, input the information or the card very well. So this is going to be no. And this is going to be red too. Am I doing the right thing? Yes. Let me use the word confirmation. let's bring this down here and then cannot track order. So I'm going to change this. Somebody is saying, how about narrating when paying? It's actually a nice feature that you would really want your user to have. You want your application to have that feature. You can go ahead and add it. But why are you allowing user to generate OTP? This is not like a fintech product. They're not making transfer. They're only just paying for the food. So I think this is actually a nice payment option for them or method for them, and it's also a good user friendly for me. But adding OTP it should be on maybe a fintech product when they're trying to make transfer. You get it's better. But OTP when they're just paying for food, they might not feel comfortable. What about their, let's say, what about people using their phone? Let's say I don't feel generating OTP is actually a nice payment option as based on user experience. But if you choose to add it, no problem. But when you add it and you've done the flow, you've done the wireframe, and you allow your user to test it, then whatever feedback they give to you, you can go ahead and go for it. But if the feedback is not good, then you have to take it down. Did I answer your question, or did I say something based on my own part? So now we've done the shopping carts method or flow. So let's go through it and then see the outcome. So we can go ahead and change the colors later. So now let's see for users that now I have the money. Let me come back and buy this item I have actually saved on this application, and I add to cart and I add my shipping address. Once I've added the shipping address, automatically I'm going to see my shipping fee and then the subtotal and then the total, and then I'll select the payment method I want to use. Do I want to pay now or I want to pay on delivering? So if I'm paying now, I'm going to add my card, or I'm going to do by bank transfer. Is it successful? Yes, it's successful. I get a confirmation screen that says your item has been confirmed, and you will get to receive your meal maybe 3 to 4 hours, and then you cannot track your order. Then user 2 is saying they follow the same process and they said, no, I have cash at home. I'm going to pay when the food is at my doorstep. And the next thing they are going to do is they click on pay on delivery. They cannot track their order. Once their item has been delivered, they collect their food and they will give cash to the delivering man or woman or wherever. So you can tell that we've done a good flow, starting from the start place down to the track. Yeah, you can tell that even if it's just one user, you can tell that everywhere, even no matter you're coming from this angle or this angle or this angle, you could tell that all of you will just end up at this angle. Okay. Now we're going to do for the account, but I'm going to leave the account section as part of the assignment. Now let's move on to wireframe. So yesterday was 2-in-1 topic where we talked about the flow chart and the wireframe. Now we're going to work on, so I'm going to take this out. So we are going to work on the wireframe for this particular product. Now we're going, like I said, low fidelity is just the lowest. It's just like a sketch on your digital tool or on a piece of paper. But at your level, I always advise that you use paper for your low fidelity. Use your paper. Your paper should be clear. It should have a clear understanding. Then you snap and then you upload on your Figma. Now we're going to do a low fidelity using our digital tool, but using your digital tool for low fidelity is kind of not clear enough. That's why I said use your paper for low fidelity, snap and then upload it. Now when you're doing that, you're going to, I think after this class I'm going to show you how I'm going to do a low fidelity for maybe onboarding and then welcome screen, and then I will snap and show it, post on the group so that you will see how it normally look like. Same thing as the picture that I showed you yesterday while we are trying to explain what a low fee look like. Now, so we are going to use our digital to create this from here to from the start, from the splash screen down to the welcome. We're going to create a mid-fee wireframe using Figma. So I'm going to create this. If you have a question, you can mute and ask them.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Sorry, please. My question is, at this point where we are done with the flow chart, is it okay to send to client, or we finish the wireframe before we send to client? And then if we want to send to client, do we send it as an image, or I'm not sure how we can export it and then send to a client?
Yeah, now this is one thing I normally say. You want to send, there are some clients that will reach out to you and tell you, come up with this idea, do whatever you want to do, as long as I'm giving my user the best, giving them a great satisfaction. And these clients are people that actually don't understand this. It's not something that you will just give it to them and relax. If it's something that you can call for a meeting, share your screen, explain it the same way I just did for them, while you are taking them through the flow, is better that way than giving it to them like that, because not all clients actually understand this. But if you choose to, okay, now let's say, now another way is you're working with a team of developers, product managers, product designers, your colleagues, whosoever that is on the team. You have a complete team or maybe incomplete team, or it's in a team. Let me use the word a team, and they called you out. Are you done with the flowchart? Can we see what you've done so far? And these are people that are also picky. These are people that also have understanding and knowledge of what a flowchart is. You don't need to export. You don't need to do anything. All you have to do is just come on this chair, click this icon. You just come to this place, anyone. You say anyone with this link. So if it's like this, only people invited, when you share this link, they're going to ask for requests. So all you have to do is just anyone with this link, what can they do? They can either edit or they can view. But the best is just leave it for view. And then, so when you click on view, you can say, my account is an advanced account. So that's why asking for password and needs other things. So you can just leave it in view, and anyone with this link can view this product. So what you do, you just copy the link and maybe attach it to the group chat, or maybe email, or whatever communication tool you guys are using, and then share to the person. When the person click on this link, the person is just going to come on this Figma file, and then the person will see whatever you've done on this file. Just the same way Ebenezer is on this file and Favor is on this file, the way they can see. If they can send a screenshot of how it looked like for their end for you to see on the group, is a perfect way. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other question before we continue? Okay, so
Well, ma.
Continue.
I'm sorry. I came late to the meeting, but I just want to ask the sign for that trapezium. What does it stand for? That is the only thing I want to ask.
What sign, please?
The trapezium for that flow chart, trapezium shape. Yeah.
This
What does it stand for? Yeah.
It stands as input and output. As long as you are typing information on that screen, it's going to stand for you. So I think I made mistake here. So thank you for just draw my attention here. So since we are adding our card details, this is how it's going to be. Shipping address is going to be format. As long as we are typing information on that screen, this is how it's going to look like.
Okay. Thank you,
Any
ma.
other question? You're welcome. Any other question before we continue?
Hello.
Yeah, Oluchi.
Please, what should we use grouping so that the flowchart will not scatter? As when you send it to people or you log that and want to log in, sometimes before you log in again, it has scattered. So should we use grouping?
Scatter. It doesn't scatter.
Okay.
It doesn't scatter.
Okay.
What are you using that normally that gets scattered?
I don't know. The one I did, when you log in again, you see that it's scattered. I don't know why it's happened like that.
Share the link on my DM.
Okay.
Share the link on my DM. Okay, so guys, I decided to go back to my old UI because if I use the other one, it might actually confuse many of us. So just like I said yesterday, Figma recently did their change to their interface. They change it. So I don't know if some of us are actually using the new interface. So let me show you what the new interface looks like. Now this is how the new two look like. So I have, like I said, I have two accounts, old and new. So this is my oldest Figma account. So this is how they move this information from the top to this place, and I've gone through it. It's actually nice, but if I use it to explain to you people, a lot of us might ask, what is this? What is this? What is that? What is this? So I want you guys to be familiar with the old interface before understanding the new interface. Okay, so that is why I checked my other account and I found out that my other account has not been updated yet. So I said, okay, let me use my new account to teach you guys to know your way perfectly on Figma before, so that if your Figma eventually updated, you might not get confused along the way. Do you understand? So this is the old interface. This was the old interface where we navigate to understand Figma as a tool and all. Okay, this is actually a nice place where we can create those nice UI, those onboarding and sign up page that we did last time. This was how my own Figma looked like. So that when I'm explaining to you guys using this pattern, you might just get confused. So just have it in mind that Figma is just doing update. I don't know, but I feel they are doing it. The update is set by set, depending when you create your account on Figma. I think that's when Figma is doing their update, because I just recently noticed that this my new account has not been updated yet, and I checked to see if I can update it, and I found out that it's using the latest version. So this is Figma file, Figma Canva file. So we want to create, now this is another great thing that we can do here. So I'm going to move this guy here. So you can actually copy this, just highlight, come here, copy, come here, and paste. So this is how it's going to look like. And now it's on a black background because we cannot even see some of them that is black. So I'm just going to click here. I'm just going to use my own frame and then highlight it like this so that to have a white background. I think this is it, and you can just call it flowchart. So in case I say copy your flowchart into your Figma, this is just what you do. So you just go to your FigJam, copy your flowchart, come to your Figma, paste, and use your random frame. Because if you say you want to use the default frame size, there's no frame size that is up to 6,272. Okay, there's no any frame size. So what you just use your default frame, highlight, and then put it inside, you get, and then you make sure that everything is inside. Turn it off and turn it on to make sure that everything is inside. Now let's create authentication scheme for a mid fidelity. Now the reason why I'm not using Figma to create low fidelity is because it's just line and shape. So if I say use your digital tool to create a low fidelity for me, when you submit the assignment or when you submit this project for me, I might not really understand what you do because you're just using line and shape. I don't know what this line stands for. I don't know what this shape stands for. That's why I said I prefer beginners or whoever that is close to me as a UI UX designer to use paper for your low fidelity. Use paper for your low fidelity. Make sure you can go ahead and write it in words, no problem. Just make sure low fidelity, you cannot actual. You just diagram you're just going to, or icon you're going to draw to indicate that this place is going to have a picture. So that's why I said use your paper to do your low fidelity. You get, snap with a good camera and then upload into your Figma. Now, if you want to upload into your Figma, yeah, and let's say you've done snapping, let me do something. Let's say I have this. Okay, it's not going to work. I don't have any image, but I'm just going to use a random. Okay, let me use a random image. Let's say no. Why is it show? Oh, music is meaning. That is why frame I selected. Let's say we have looking for. Let's say I'm looking for a clear picture. Let's say we have this. Okay, let me save this. Let me save this. Okay, now let's go back to Figma. And now let's say I want to import that image I just downloaded. Let's say that image is my design that I have sketched on a piece of paper and I've snapped with a good camera, and I want to import it into my Figma. All I have to do is just to come to this shape here, click on it, click on this drop down, come here, place image or video. You can actually import video on your Figma, yeah, but it's not going to play here. It's going to play on your prototype. So now I just want to import image. So all I have to do is just to click here. Just know the name of what the image you save. Bring it this way. Then you paste it. So you can choose to increase it. So if you want to increase it, you come to this place, move to, select this scale, and then drag it. So while you're selecting that scale, it's going to actually remain the same height, like it's going to give you a perfect height and width while you're trying to stretch it. So if you're stretching it, it's actually not going to scatter at all. So this is the way to import your sketch on Figma. Okay. I'm sorry, I will reduce the speed. Sorry. Now you can tell I've import this image into Figma, and then you can go back and return your cursor back to move. Okay. Now let's use move now. Let me show you something. You're saying you don't want your design to be like this. So now start doing it like this. This is actually taking time. But if you want to scale your design in a perfect way, just click here. Click on scale. And just drag. Just drag it. If you don't want to use scale, just hold the elements you want, hold your shift, and then drag. This is if you want to learn keyboard shortcut, just come on this place, help and resources. When you click on it, It's going to show you this, show you their help center, show you your YouTube videos, show you submit, ask whatever you want to ask, learn keyboard shortcut. Come here, and this is actually going to open. You're going to learn the essentials keyboard shortcut. You're going to learn the two, each of these two, the keyboard shortcut. You're going to learn the view, the zoom. You're going to learn for text. You're going to learn for shapes, selection, cursor, edit, transform, arrange, components, and then layout. So you're going to just then for the layout is just the key that you want. If you want to change your keyboard to wherever you want to change, no problem. But I think I prefer this US pattern. Let me follow what is on the keyboard so I do not confuse me, and then you can just close. So this is how to just learn keyboard shortcut. Okay, if you want to learn. So now let's assume this is our wireframe. This is our low-fee wireframe. So now let's create authentication. Let's create a splash screen first. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to edit this to be wireframe. Let's just change it to food app. So delivering app. And let's come here. I already have food delivering app, so it will not confuse me when I'm trying to search for something. So then I'm going to come here. Now, this is what I did. So just come here. When you click on this page 1, click here. It's going to show you. Yeah, you click on this plus to be page 2. So my page 1, I'm going to it's loading. So my page 1, I'm going to say page 1 is going to be mid fidelity, mid fee. So let's just use the word mid fee. And this is going to be high fee. And the last one is going to be final design. Okay. So I'm going to share the link to us. So it's taking time to load. I'm going to click on this here. Anyone with this link. Yeah. So this is actually the best way to just use your draft to create this. So down here, anyone with this link have access to it. Let me just put it access to it for everybody. And come here, copy the link, copy the group, and then paste it. I didn't copy the right link. Okay, yes, I did. Okay, yes, that's it. Okay, so first thing first is I'm going to create you're always fast to enter. First thing first, I'm going to create a tag to show which section I am. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to just use a tag just to show that, oh, this place is the authentication screen. I'm going to bring my text in here. So I'm going to use my favorite font. So you'll be wondering why is this thing so tiny like this. So I'm going to use my favorite font. And I'm going to make it so big. And I'm going to bring it in here. Okay, I think I'm going to make it 200. I want it to be visible enough. Okay, so this is how. So I'm going to change this to I'm just going to double click here and then check this thing to tag. So once I'm done, now this is actually in a frame, but if you want to play around with auto layout, just right click and then do add auto layout, and then you drag. So if you're dragging, it's actually at the center. You can choose to leave it at the center. You can choose to move it this way. So if I want to move it this way, all I have to do is just to come here and then click here, align to the left. So once I align to the left, this is how it will look like. Then on a second way of making this, to create this auto layer like this, instead of using green and all, so I'm going to change this thing to be white so that we can all see what I'm doing. So So now another way to do this auto layout, something I did here. So if you have your text this way, just right click and come to add auto layout here. Then you add auto layout. This is how it's going to be. And then you come here, add a fill color. So once you add the fill color, whenever you do auto layout or whenever you do you place an element in a frame, the default color is always white. So all you have to do is just come here, double click, you click on the text, or you come here, or you trace the name of the frame. Come here, click on the text, and then come here to change the color. And once you change the color, this is actually, the text is not having a breathing space at all. And we want to do something like this. So all you have to do is just to come here. You're going to drag this to the bottom here. So whatever height you want to use, and then you drag this side. So once you are dragging, it's picking the settings of the element to be aligned at the center. All you have to do is just to move to the left, and you have this. But now we want to create space here. So what you're going to do, you're going to just zoom in. You see this blue line here. You see this blue line here. So you see this blue line like here. Now you see this blue line here. So what it does, you just move your cursor to that place and then drag it. Just click, just like this, and then while you're clicking, just drag it. So once you're dragging it here, you're seeing that it is actually changing to 129. Then you can place it here. So it needs padding. So the padding here and here, you can set it to be the same, but you can set it to be different. So if you want to use auto layout for your frame or for your tag, or you want to use frame, any other way is good. But I will advise you use auto layout. Please don't use group for your work. And I will explain why grouping your element is actually not a best or nice way. So when we start designing UI, I'm going to show you how to use auto layout in a very perfect way without having issues. Okay, so you can use this or this. So I'm going to delete this. Now remember, this is actually a mobile application that we are doing. So, and I said the best frame to use is iPhone 13 mini. So I'm going to click on frame and close tab here, and I'll go for phone. So I'm going to use iPhone 13 mini. So once I use iPhone 13 mini, this is where it will be, and then I'll move it here, and then yeah, I'm going to you can just come here to double click, or you come here to change the name. So here I'm going to say splash screen. So our splash screen is actually our start screen. So I'm going to make this. Now we are designing for a low fee. Now we're designing for a low fee. A low fidelity is mid fee wireframe is made up of line, shape, and some text. No color, no image. Okay, so this is what we are going to design. So I'm going to use my favorite font text. So I'm going to create here, and then I'm going to say Mavi. Now you've been wondering why my text is so big. Now the reason why my text is so big because it picked the last information or the last setting I used for this. That is why it's actually big. So you don't need to panic. All you have to do is just click on the text, come here and reduce to whatever font size you want, and then reduce the font text. So I'm going to use, it's actually a title, so I'm going to use 32. I'm going to use extra bold for it. I'm going to align to the center here and here. So I'm just going to use this for my logo. So this is actually going to be my logo. So I'm going to hold these two together, and then I will right click and to layout. So once I've made it auto layout, I'm going to change it. Do you want to use a white background or a dark background? So I would love to use a dark background. So I'm just going to change this to this. I'm not going to use black because, okay, I think black become my background and this is almost the same color. So I'm just going to use, so we're going to use something like this. And then I will change this to be white. So come here, move this here, come here, move this here. So this particular shape is just showing that this is actually my logo that is going to be here. So whenever I choose my font color choice, then it's going to be there. If I want to use red, blue, whatever color I want to use for my food app, I'm just going to replace this gray to my brand color. So the next thing I'm just going to do, I'm just going to duplicate this and then change it to be white. Now I want to use a white background. That's what I want to use. I'm going to delete this out and I'm going to change this to be onboarding. Onboarding 1. So I'm going to bring this shape to stand as my image here. And I'm going to bring this and keep it here and show, let's say, other food. So let's say other food. Then let's duplicate this. So this is carrying the previous settings for here. So you just come here, change here, come here to 24, keep it this way. Then duplicate this, change it to regular, change to 16, 18, whatever font choice you want to use. And then I'm going to use a plugin that I can use to generate dummy text. So this is how it's actually going to look like as a new user. So all you have to just click on this run. Make sure you're clicking on the elements you want to use the dummy text for. So this is how it's going to look like for new user. Click here. Now, someone like me, I did not read. I just click next. Some persons are like that when it comes to reading information on onboarding screen. So now it's on the home, and what I want is text. So I'll just click on text. I'll click on this, and then just click on this. It will just automatically generate. I don't even need to sign in. So what it gave to me is actually long. So I'm just going to bring them in. Move to the center. Zoom in. Just that the same thing we did last time when we created that onboarding screen. I think I'll have to remove it from this way. So this is okay for me. I'll take it to the top. And I'm going to use this shape for my button. So you can choose to add your button. You can choose not to add your button. Just to me, I would prefer you add your button. Like add your button this way. So this is okay. So let's add arrow inside. Outline the two and then add there. One is outside. That's why it's giving me like this. So the arrow is outside. So I'm going to bring the arrow inside. Put these two align and then create auto layout for it. So I've created auto layout for it this way. And this is actually too big. So I'm just going to hold my scale. Sorry, I'm using shortcut. So I'm going to come here, click my scale, and then reduce. Just the same thing we did when we created that onboarding page UI design. So the next thing I'm going to return it back to move, and I'm going to add the carousel to show that, okay, this is 4-page or 3-page or how many page you want to tell your user. In here, you can duplicate here. So I'm going to use this rectangle here and then drag it this way. I'm going to make the height to be the same thing as this, to be 15. I'm going to hold this 15 like this, and I'll keep it here, and I'll give it a corner radius. I want it to be very curved like this. I don't want it to just show that it's actually different shape from this. So what I'll do is I'll just come here and give it corner radius. So this is corner radius. You can come to make it like this. You can just put your cursor and you can just click on it and put your cursor to move. The cursor will just come out from this other way. So let me repeat what I did. So I click on this, click here. Then once I click, it's showing that I'm clicked on this particular corner radius. So once this arrow is like this, I'll just move my arrow. It will come out from the other side of the screen like this thing. I get the perfect curvy shape I want, and then I'm good to go. I'll just hold the three together and then highlight and just make it auto layer. So once you make it auto layer, it automatically arrange itself for you. Now I want the screen to be this particular shape to be at this place. I'll just click on it. I'll just click on it and just move it up this way, and then it moves. It will not scatter the setting because you give it a perfect setting. So the spacing between the three of them is just 6. You can come here to change it if you want. If you want to put 10, you are free. But make sure the 10 you are putting is actually a nice look and feel. Okay. So the next thing we are going to do, we are going to hold this and then align. Just the same thing we did for the onboarding. So we've done a low, we've done a mid fee for onboarding screen 1. So we actually forgot to do something, because remember I said mid fee wireframe is the obligated version of your low fidelity, and mid fee is actually going to carry alignment, your spacing, clean spacing, alignment, and it's going to actually have scale. So, but for low fidelity, we are not doing that. It's just, it's something that you actually just sketch. It's not compulsory that you must use ruler. Okay, so it's just something that is just there. But your mid-fee wireframe is actually going to be like the upgraded version of your sketch. So here we are going to add our grade system. So we're going to add this. Click here, move here, and then select 6. Like I said, mobile is between 4 to 6. Tablet is between 6 to 8, and the web is just 12. And then for the margin, I'm not going to tell you the number of margin to use, because if you want your spacing this place to be too small, it is your choice. But make sure when they code the work, or make sure when you preview the work, your text are not just starting from this end of the screen. So I'm going to preview one of my old landing page and show you what I actually meant. So I'm going to click here. While I'm going to show you, let's wait for this thing to load. I'm going to show you. So here I'm using 6, and here I'm going to use 25. You can use 30. You can use 25. You can use 27. Whatever number you want to use is your choice. So yeah, this is how 30 will look like. 30 will look like it's coming in. 25 is like a little bit outside. So I think 25 is okay. So let's see if it's actually downloading. I want to show you guys when you use a good margin for your design, this is how it's going to turn out for a web. So yeah, I'm going to bring this and then move this way, and move this to here, and this to here, and this is okay, aligned to the center. And so I'm going to just duplicate this, and I'm going to just duplicate this. So after duplicating, the only thing I'm going to change here is just this element. I'm going to bring it at the center, so that I'm telling my user that they are on the front page, and then I'll come here, and then I'll move this one to this place to be at the last part. So here it's actually not going to be here it's not going to be like a next button. So here is going to be with the text. So I'm going to remove this element from auto layout. So I'm going to just take it out from auto layout. So once you take it out from auto layout, it automatically turns to frame. So I'm going to remove this arrow, and I'm going to just bring these elements, duplicate it here, and just put get started. Put get started. I'm going to hug the text. I'm going to make my text in my button to stand out so that user can actually read the information on that call to action button. So this is how it's going to be. Just bring you can choose to put it inside here to adjust, but that is actually going to take time before you adjust and all. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this, bring this here, add auto layout to it. So once I add auto layout to it, this is how it's going to be. And I'm going to just place it here and then give it a peak color. Remember, if you drop a frame, if you drop just a default frame, not selecting frame from any of the frame options that is given, if you just click on frame to just bring your own default frame, or you do something auto layout, there's not going to be peak color. You'll be the one to give it a peak color. And when you give it a peak color, you're only going to have white as the default color. So then you cannot change the color to whatever choice of color you want to use. So here I'm going to add a peak color. So the peak color is white. I'm just going to pick this gray color I'm using here. I'll come here, pick this color here, get my color picker, and then close. So let's change this text to white and see how the opacity will look like. So it's actually not giving us, let me close it. Let me turn it off so that you see what I'm doing here. It's actually giving me this difficulty to understand, because if you do this thing, if you do the prototype for this design and you send your user, your user might not, some users might not be able to see the information on this button. So I'm going to change this white back to black. I'm going to change it this way. And I'm a fan of having a curvy button. So I don't like sharp edge button like this. So I'm going to click on it and then give it a corner radius of 10. So this is what we have. And then we're going to have, so I'm going to duplicate this. So it's going to show me on body screen 4. Figma has this way of automatically giving you the next number. So you could tell, like now if I drop another rectangle, it's going to give me rectangle 4. So that's one funny thing about Figma. So I'm going to change this word to be welcome. And I'm going to take out this carousel here. I'm going to bring this button here. So I think I'll just have to place this. I'll have to reduce this rectangle that I use for identification for identification for image. Then I'm going to bring this button here. I'm going to align to the center. I'm going to turn on my grid system. Turn it on. Okay, perfect. Wow. I'm now going arranging this thing here. So make it this way and come here and make it this way. Now we are designing our welcome screen from the flowchart. So I'm going to change this to welcome. Now from the welcome, I can tell user to either the sign up or the sign in. So here is going to be sign up, and here is going to be here is going to be login. So this is what we've done so far. So I'm going to turn everything off. So we've designed the splash. So I'm going to move this splash close. Let's see if I can change this thing to black and see the outcome. Okay, so that means I'll have to play around with this my background color here. So I'm not clicking on any element. I want to change this my background color from black because I want this my black to be visible enough. So what I'll have to do is I'm going to click out and then come here, click on this color. then you're good to go. So we are done with this particular first session of the authentication screens. So this is what we've done so far. So you can actually drop your status bar if you want to drop it on your mid fidelity stage, but if you don't want to, you can then add it on your high fidelity stage. Okay, so do we have question? Okay, so I want to show you guys something on how to use this layout grid. Now for the mobile, let's preview this. Okay, for the mobile, we've already done that. So let's preview. So now, before I can preview this, now I want to add home frame for this particular few screens I have done. So I'm not clicking on any element. I'll just come to this prototype here. Now devices is showing me none. So all I have to do is just to click here and use my iPhone 13 mini. So once I use my iPhone 13 mini, this is how it's going to look like. You can choose to change how you want your model color to be. So I'm going to use pink. So once I click on this splash screen and I can preview. So let's preview to see how it's going to look like. This is how it's going to look like. Now this is how it's going to look like. So you can move to the next screen, to the next. Now you can tell using this layout grid. Now you can see how the space here look like and the space here, which is actually perfect. It's perfect. Now this is the last screen. The path is perfect, and this is the welcome screen, which actually the space here is a perfect. So I'm using 25. The margin is 25 for mobile, which is perfect. Now let me show you something for a web design. Okay, this is actually a web design I did. So I used do I have access to edit on this my account? No, I don't have access to edit on this my account. But I can't remember the margin I used, but let's preview this design and see. So let me present this design. So when it comes to presenting my work for mobile, I prefer using preview to give me that phone frame something. But for web, I prefer using present. Okay, so while we're waiting for it to load, let's wait for it to load while I switch to my I don't know if it's going to, I've not done that before, but let's just use my new account. Now this is how it actually looks like. I want to show you guys the number of margin I use for that, for this product, for this design. So now I'm going to set it. Now you can actually set this. So what you have to do is just come here for the web, fit width. When you fit the width, then I want to take out this Figma comments, Figma icon, the page, blah blah blah. Or I want to take it out. I'm just going to hide the UI. So for the web now, you can tell how the space here is and how the space here, which is actually a perfect spacing here. So forget this thing. This is just like a design. Now for here, you can tell the space here. Now this is like something I want it to be moving left, right, and also it doesn't care about the space because of the animation I wanted for this part. Now you can tell I still maintain this space here. Now I still maintain the space of this logo down to this place and the space from here down to this place. So don't worry, when we start designing UI, I'm going to teach you how I came up with this and how I'm scrolling, and this is actually free. So you might be thinking this is actually a coded design. No, it's not a coded design, it's just a Figma design. So when we start doing UI designs, I'm going to show you how I achieve all this. So you can tell how the margin here. Now let me scroll this to the top. Now you can tell I still maintain that margin here and that straight line here. So that is one sweet thing about using margin layout grid on our system. So the margin is just here. So you don't want your design to, you don't want this logo to be from this place and this button to be from this place. Okay. So once we start designing for web, I'm going to show you how to choose the perfect margin for your design. Okay. So this is an open floor where you have to ask me questions.